Hello, hello. It's Amanda from Borahae Con. I am by myself right now. So I'm hoping that some of you show up in the comments because I would love to pull somebody from the comments to be my guest tonight. I thought I had a guest a few weeks ago and then that fell through. And then I thought I had a guest a few days ago and then that fell through. And then I've been trying to get a guest for the last couple days and everyone's either sick or working tonight. So there's like 60 million ARMYS in the world. There's got to be somebody out there that wants to share their BTS story tonight. This is silly. I kept just going around today asking everybody, I'm like, this is silly. There's seriously like 50 to 60 million ARMYS in the world. And somebody's got to want to share their BTS story tonight. So I'm going to be on here for a little bit, hoping some people show up in the comments and somebody wants to get pulled in to share their story. Otherwise, it's going to be a short one tonight, I guess, because I've already shared my BTS story. So, let's talk some news, I guess. Newest news, JK birthday. That's a good thing. How's everyone feeling about the new piercing? It looks painful. I'm thinking his new piercing looks painful. Whoever just joined on, I'm looking for a guest tonight. So if that's you, jump in the comments and I'll tell you how to do it. I just explained that there was all kinds of interesting reasons why I'm without a guest tonight, but I was hoping to pull somebody from the comments. So whoever that is watching, all you have to do is share your story. It's a interview casual style, and then we play fun BTS games, but I can't do it without somebody. Like I said, 50 million ARMYS in the world. Somebody's got to want to share their story tonight. But anyway, JK piercing. I'll just talk news until somebody shows up in the comments and tells me they want me to add them in to the stage here. So he did a nice live. I feel like somebody said they thought he got new ear piercings too, that he used to only have 5 and now he has 7 on the one ear. I honestly have to say I did not count previously. It just, I just knew there was a bunch in the one ear. So that could be entirely true that he now has 7 and only had 5 before. So that is very interesting. And of course, probably everyone saw that J-Hope has a new tattoo. If not, you should run over to his Instagram and check that one out, because our Hobie, who didn't even want to get his ear pierced, I remember, now has 2 tattoos. So I guess that's true that once you start on that, you just keep going. Again, if you are just coming in, I see some people coming in. I really need a guest for tonight. Through many different things over the last few weeks, I had people booked and it all just fell apart. And so I would love to bring somebody on. Please comment if you're willing to come on and share your story tonight, and I will get you set up with a link and you'll be here. It's that easy. Otherwise, you just get to listen to me talk about BTS news because I've already shared my BTS story. And what else we got? We got RM going to more art galleries and art museums, and V and him being at a event, and that's cool. I'm really still hoping for those. Oh, then the Tiny Tons. Has anyone run out and got their Tiny Tons already? I know they don't come out till tomorrow, but apparently there's lots of buzz already in all the Facebook groups that a lot of people were able to get them early. And some just paid for the toy. Some had to get the meals. Some had nice people at their McDonald's that went back and got them certain ones, although that would be a rough thing to ask somebody to do, especially if they're super busy. So probably we shouldn't do that. Normally I'm not a big collector, but I mean, they're like $2 and they're cute. And so I think I'm going to jump in on that. In fact, I may even still go out tonight and see what I can scrounge up. Again, if you are here, I see there's people watching. So if you are here and you would like to join me tonight and be my guest, please jump into the comments and tell me that so I can pull you in, because I really would like somebody to talk to tonight. And like I said, all my previous guests for tonight fell through. So I am here by myself again and don't want to reshare my story, because you can go look at my own story a few weeks back when my guest canceled same day. So if you are here and if you are willing to share your story, please jump in the comments and tell me that, and I will send you a link. Otherwise, like I said, it'll just be short. I'm going to probably not stay on more than 10 minutes or so, and talk about more news, I guess. What else? V's baseball pitch. That's a little bit old news at this point, but that was pretty awesome. It was just a lot of good feelings seeing all that. Everything was just, I don't know, I just smiled a lot when I watched it. I thought it was pretty neat. All the interactions, and just, he does such good fan service. He's so sweet and nice to everybody, and really kind of does things in a way that not just reach the ARMY that he's interacting with, but really kind of reach all of us. Like the hug from the one, I think Dingo Story it was called. If you guys haven't seen that, gotta look that one up on YouTube. An ARMY got to hang out with him all day and do fun stuff. They went to an arcade and a photo booth and all kinds of things, and there was a lot of deep connection there. And she got this hug at the end that was, the hug that rung around the ARMY world as far as everyone feeling it. So that was super cool. So I think that he really does a great job with that. What else? I'm really hoping for concert dates, because I would really love to plan next year's con and have enough time to really do that. But need those dates. There was a new article, I guess, that is now saying March. I mean, we knew spring, and so there's only like 3 months that we could pick from, but they're kind of saying March, so I can totally see that as far as how much time they need to prepare, the rest of their music, remember all their music, learn all the choreography, remember all the choreography, go back over old stuff that they would be doing at shows and, remember that. I know as a former dance teacher and a former dancer that when you've got some really old choreography that you haven't done in a while, or sometimes, honestly, if you're learning a bunch of new stuff, and there's stuff that you did maybe, I don't even know, some months ago sometimes, it's just gone because you need room for the new stuff in your head. And when you're doing, 20, 30 different dances, different sets of choreography at once. I know when I was teaching like between 3 and 5 hours a night, and I usually had 2 to 3 pieces per hour that we were working on throughout the year. So I usually ended up, I don't know if that math is working out, but I think it was like 25, 30 pieces per year that I would choreograph and run on the students. And so that's a lot. And a lot of times, I would be doing it with them and I'd start doing something else. And they're like, that's not Miss Amanda, that's not right. And I'm like, oh, that's right. Because I have notebooks and notebooks and notebooks of chicken scratch trying to remind myself what all the steps were, since I had so many in my head. And, obviously I wasn't going to be doing those routines on the stage with them. They were doing them. So I didn't really need to remember every little step of all of them, but they certainly did. And I did when I was teaching. So I know how that is. So 6 months, honestly, that's almost nothing for everything they've got to do. So all I want is for them to just put out those dates so that we can all prepare a little bit better, right? We need wallet time. We need vacation time. We need time to get all our stuff in order and know where we're going, where these shows are going to be. And I need to know what the dates are and how close they're going to get to Nashville, because either we will do the con right around those same days if it's close, or we will try and find a different part of the year to do it so that it's kind of a completely separate thing. So I'm just hoping for those dates as soon as possible. And again, I just see more people showing up. So I don't have a guest tonight for a lot of different reasons. If you'd like to be my guest, please jump in the chat and tell me, and I will send you a link and pull you right in. Otherwise, I'm not going to be on too much longer because there's already been a Share Your BTS Story with just me. So you guys have already heard from me. So I'm just talking news and other general things. So What else? What else? What else? There's lots of new K-pop stuff coming to Nashville. It's starting to get a lot more popular here. We are building a brand new stadium, and actually I've just found out that the new stadium is apparently only going to hold as many people as the current stadium, which I thought the new stadium was going to hold more people, and that might be a bigger draw for BTS to maybe book our stadium in Nashville for the tour, although I think the new stadium is not going to be done until 26, which I thought, oh, bummer. But I found out our current stadium apparently holds just as many people, which I think is in the 50 to 60,000 range. So I guess it's not that big of a deal. I guess the new stadium's just going to look better. I don't know. I honestly literally know nothing about it except for I just want them to come here. But of course, if they come anywhere, around, I will go there too. But it would be cool if they came here and we could have the con on an adjacent day. That would be super awesome. So hoping for that. But even if they're in Atlanta or something, that's not that far. It's, I think 3 hours in good traffic, 4 in bad. So, but still, that's still close. I'm trying to think of what the next closest big city that they would go to. Chicago's about 8 hours away from here. So, doing the con on an adjacent day for that wouldn't make any sense. So in that case, if that's the closest that they come, we'll just maybe wait till the part of the year where they're not touring the US at least, so that we make sure that people have time to come to the con and aren't at the show somewhere. So that, again, if you're just joining us and you are willing to be a guest tonight, please drop your hand here in the comments so I can send you a link. Otherwise, like I said, I am not going to stay on too much longer. What else can I talk about news-wise? I'm sorry to bore everybody. I really tried really hard to get another guest for tonight after they all kind of dropped out over the last couple weeks, but it just didn't happen. I reached out to a lot of people specifically, and just wasn't to be. So it's just how it goes sometimes. My husband was reminding me, he used to be a musician. He was reminding me of shows where they did, their big annual show, and one time ended up with no guitarist and had to come up with this computer-based guitar to fill in for their guitarist because they didn't want to cancel their annual show that was their big draw. But literally drove themselves crazy trying to find the guitarist for that show. For whatever reason, I don't remember what happened to their guitarist, why they didn't have one at that point. But, these things happen. But I wanted to keep this going. I wanted to make sure it show up because if I say this is going to be weekly, then I want to be here weekly and not disappear or not be here when I say I'm going to be here. So I wanted to be here. And if people showed up, at least give you the opportunity to come and be on with me so that we can do a proper live stream. And like I said, if not, those of you that are watching this later might be slightly bored, except for my little bit of news. I could play a BTS game myself, I guess. I don't know how fun that would be. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to stay on too much longer because I'm probably boring the few people who are here that are possibly not wanting to come on. Not everybody does. Some people don't love to be on camera and be out there in the public. So that's fine. I totally understand that. But I guess that is what it is for right now. I may wait another minute or two just to see. But like I said, I don't want to have this come out later and just have people watch it and be like, what in the world is this? Because I'm just literally talking for 15 minutes, hoping somebody shows up to be my guest. So like I said, a couple more minutes to see if anybody jumps in. Because I know sometimes people jump in, 15 minutes in, 20 minutes in. We've had that on the other one. So again, if you just jumped in and you want to be a guest, I need a guest tonight. There have been a lot of reasons why I don't have a guest tonight and a lot of ways I tried to get a guest tonight, but we are without a guest tonight. So if you would like to and you are willing to come on and save me from talking all by myself, please post in the comment that you are willing, and I will send you a link and we'll pull you on. I'm going to wait a few more minutes. So any brave souls, come and talk to me. 50,000 armies out there in the world, 50 million armies out there in the world. Somebody's got to come and want to talk to me about their BTS story. So come. I could try to tell jokes while I'm waiting. I don't know if I have any good jokes to tell you. Again, I'm so sorry this is going to be super boring for those of you watching it later, but like I said, I wanted to make sure to show up every week, no matter what happens. And, if I have guests booked and think I have them booked and then it doesn't work, and try to get other people and it doesn't work and end up with nobody, I thought I'd try it this way. I thought I'd see, just who showed up tonight and then try to pull somebody in who's one of our regular viewers. But can only do what I can do. Everyone is working or sick tonight is pretty much how it went after the week or two that I thought I had somebody and found out I didn't. So again, a couple more minutes. I'm so sorry. I know this is super boring for anybody that's going to be watching this later, and probably for anybody that's watching it now. I shared some BTS news that you guys all probably already know. Have fun getting your tiny tons from McDonald's. And all right, I'm gonna go till 6:20, just in case anybody shows up or anyone decides to get brave. It's not scary. It's just a general conversation that we have, and then we play fun games. So not scary at all. I've been on stage since I was 3 years old, so it's not a big deal for me. I get up there, I have danced, I've spoken, I've been a professional speaker, so I usually, have a speech a little bit more prepared than this for when I'm speaking. This is supposed to be more casual, and like I said, I just sort of showed up to see if anybody would jump on with me. So I'm gonna give it 2 more minutes, and if not, then again, I apologize to those of you watching this later. I am sorry. We do have a guest next week. We do have some guests for the weeks after that. If you want to be a guest in the future, please email info@borahaecon.com or message our socials, because I would love to continue to have people scheduled for weeks in advance like I did when we started this, but then I ran out of people, and now we've had a few that I thought were ready to go, and that just didn't happen. But, that's life when you run things like this. So come on, 50 million armies. And those of you who are watching, you're killing me here. Help me out. Help me out. No? Nobody wants to do it, huh? Where's Googie tonight? She's on like every week. Where's Googie? I think she usually shows up later though too. So I guess maybe she's not here. I'm trying to think who else I think I've already talked to most of our other regulars, and I think they're not on tonight. So, oh well, I tried. Well, all right, those of you that are here, I don't see any hands up, so I'm gonna put everybody out of their misery of watching this, and I will see you next week with a guest. All right. Toodaloo. If anyone does still want to get on, message me. I can come back. But otherwise, see you next week. Bye.